All these vocab words are from My Side of the Story, the book, the short story we just read yesterday. So looking at so we need to have out wherever you're taking notes. So the first word is enormity. So the sentence says, Dr. Rizzo donated $1 million to a family in need whose house burned to the ground. Not only did they lose their house, but all the belongings as well. The enormity of such an act of generosity is amazing. Raise your hand. What are the context clues that you use to help figure out the meaning of enormity? So donated $1 million is definitely good context clues. Act of generosity is amazing. So what was your guess, the meaning of the word? Actually, here's another sentence. Jessica's mother left her in charge of cleaning the 6-bedroom, 5-bath house while watching all 7 of her younger siblings. The enormity of the job was too much for her to handle. So what does enormity mean? What's your guess? Enormity, basically it means great in size or seriousness or something extremely huge, almost beyond comprehension. So it's not just great in size, right? It's also, Can
you please stop it? You're disrupting my class.
We're talking about enormity. It says great in size, seriousness, something extreme or huge, almost beyond comprehension. So a couple examples would be the wilderness, like when there's like so many trees, or the enormity of the crimes the man committed. Like maybe there's this guy and he's committed like 67 crimes in 3 years. The enormity of divorce rate in the U.S., the enormity of not completing work in high school and not being able to graduate. So it can mean two things. Enormity can mean greatness in size or seriousness. So in the story, My Side of the Story, I believe he walked into the mom's room, saw the dad, and he realized the enormity of his mistake, the seriousness of his mistake. Do you guys get it? And if you look at the word enormity, it sounds like enormous, right? So that's how you can think. When you think of enormous, you think of great, but it's not just great in size, it's also great in seriousness. So you literally have to put down the definition, great in size, seriousness. You have to put that exact definition. Any questions on this word? All right, outraged. So it says, the migrant workers worked in the hot fields 15 hours a day with only a 30-minute lunch. Additionally, they were given only 8 ounces of water for the entire day. The conditions outraged the workers. Another example, this is from The Office. After Michael announced Jim was the new regional manager, Dwight was outraged. He felt he deserved the position. So what are the context clues in the first one that show the meaning of outraged? Pretty. What did you say? No. What are the context clues?
It said the conditions and 8 ounces of water.
All right, so basically you're talking about the conditions. So the hot fields, right? 15 hours a day, 30-minute lunch, right? 8 ounces of water. And the conditions outrage. So if you had to put in a synonym for outrage, like what do you think it means? Yeah. So when you're outraged, it's a very strong feeling of anger or shock, right? So it's not just anger. It could be shocked. So some examples are, like right now, people like small businesses are outraged because Governor Phil Murphy wants to raise the minimum wage, right? So they're outraged. They're angry. They're not shocked. When Donald Trump was elected president, people were outraged. Some were angered and some were shocked. Class had no recess because one student was disruptive, so they were outraged. So here's a little clip I'm going to show you. This is a little clip that shows the meaning of outrage. So watch this. It's from The Office.
No, just us.
You can turn the light off.
Oh, here he is right now. Man. Hi, David.
Hey, guys. So, I spoke to Alan. We had kind of an unconventional idea, which I think is pretty cool, but it only works if everyone's on board.
Well, just as long as it means Jim becomes a manager.
We were thinking of having 2 branch managers and spreading both of you guys working as co-managers. Jim would handle the day-to-day, and Michael, you would focus on clients and big picture stuff.
Wow, sounds pretty cool. Like that.
So hold on. So I'm going to kind of scroll to the ending a little. Right? So he realizes, all right?
Well, Jim is the position of co-manager.
So look at Dwight, the guy with the glasses.
Of your butt. And your butt. And your butt and your butt. All of Scranton Branch butts.
What's happening to you, Michael?
What's happening to me? I am also being promoted to co-manager. We will be co-managers together. Jim Halpert, welcome.
Thank you.
So watch Dwight. He's outraged. All right. So this word is bedevil. I should be up here. Whoops.
Bedevil.
A meatball? Really? It's always more fundamental than audience. That was usually Pam. So now that she's out, I had to find someone else. Turns out that Stanley is quite the comedy fan. But not everything makes him laugh. He has very specific tastes. Through a painstaking process of trial and error, I found out what he likes. And it's really weird.
Jim, come on. So juvenile. What the?
You've been meatball. Are you ready for some meatball?
Oh, man. This is not very clever, Jim.
I know.
Look for your stapler.
Really, Jim? Really? Very funny.
But now watch. Okay, so that's bedeviled. But there's another vocab word that you're about to see right now. So I want you to figure out what it is.
What's going on?
What's a home?
32 meatballs.
Good day.
That idiot's been feeding us for a week.
We'll never have to buy meatballs again.
So what are they being? So we know that Jim is bedeviling, right? But what are Stanley and Dwight? They're what? So look at the vocab words. The old vocab words. Turn the light on, Dan. So they are what?
Eating free for a week?
Eyes are up there. And what we're looking at is what I said is you're looking for the vocab word. The vocab word. So I said, everybody look at the vocab words right there. What word could be used to describe the actions of Stanley and Dwight? Sydney. Totally. They're manipulative. They're manipulating Jim. They think that, Jim's getting a rise at Dwight, but really they're doing it on purpose, so they're being very manipulative. So bedevil. So the sentence was, ever since I started playing tennis, I've been bedeviled by back pains. I have seen the doctor 5 times and I'm still in pain. So what is your guess for bedevil? Talking about when something bedevils you, right? To cause trouble, torment, or harass. So that is the definition. So for example, let's say you were going on a picnic and it was a nice outing, but you were bedeviled by the rain, right? You're tormented by the rain, troubled by the rain. The president bedeviled by allegations of corruption. Difficult homework bedevils students, right? So in my side of the story, it was the older brother who bedeviled the younger brother. So Skip was always bedeviling Will. So give me an example of something that bedevils you. Give me an example. Okay, so the word is indignation. So the sentence, here's an example, I guess I have another.
Okay, so this is the disputed poster. Now, one at a time, I want you to express your feelings using I emotion language and no judging you statements.
I got this poster for Christmas, and I feel I want to see it every day. It makes me feel like the babies are the true artists, and God has a really cute sense of humor.
Come on, seriously, Dad. I don't like looking at it. It's creepy and in bad taste. It's just offensive to me. It makes me think of the horrible, frigid stage mothers who forced the babies into it. It's kitsch. It's the opposite of art. It destroys art. It destroys souls. This is so much more offensive to me than hardcore porn. Okay.
Guys, enough.
Some creative alternatives that are win-win. Yes, thank you, Pam. How about Angela makes the poster in?
So basically, they went to Michael, right? Because they're unhappy. Turn the light on. Because they went to
Disagreement.
Okay, disagreement, Kyle?
I said inseparable.
What's that? Yeah. So when you're talking about indignation, you're angry about, yeah, that's the example I have up there. Okay, raise your hand. Give me another feeling of indignation. So think about in your households, especially if you have siblings. So give me some other examples. Yes.
Oh wait, no, this is like the story. Like if me and my sister are in a fight, and then she
Sit up.
If me and my sister are in a fight, and I like get hurt, and like she doesn't get in trouble, I want to win.
Right, so you get in trouble, but she doesn't get in trouble.
Yeah.
Right, so that's unfairness. So you have a feeling of indignation. Somebody else. They went to the family paper company, and they pretended they wanted to buy paper, but what they really did is, on the board they had a list of all their customers. So Michael took a picture of the list of the customers, and they were going to try to go and steal those customers. Turn the light on. So they totally lack integrity. So somebody who has integrity, you work, okay, here's an example. You work hard even when the teacher's not looking, right? So say if the teacher's working with another group, you still continue working. You don't just work when the teacher sees you working. Not lying on a job application. Returning an item you accidentally did not pay for, all right? So that means you have integrity. So this is a positive trait. All right, transfixed. When the mail came, Dana noticed a letter from Harvard University. After opening and reading the letter, she stood in her kitchen transfixed. She could not believe she was accepted into her dream college. And I believe in my side of the story, the brother Skip, when he saw the dad was in there screaming at his brother, he stood there transfixed. So what does transfixed means? Yes? Yeah, but there's a reason for it, right? So you're motionless, but it's for a reason. It could be amazement, fear, surprise, interest. So it could be any of those things. So examples is if you won the lottery, you would be there transfixed because you're in amazement. Seeing a ghost, that would be fear. Walking in your house and seeing a robber, that would be surprise or fear. Staring, say if you go to an art museum or any kind of museum and you see this huge fixture or statue of something, you might stand there transfixed because you're so interested in that art piece of work. So that's what transfixed means, right? And if you look at the word trance, it's almost like you're in a trance. How you're go to a what do you call those people?
Hypnotist?
Yeah. And they put you in a trance. So transfixed, right? But you have to make sure that when you put the definition of this quiz, you are motionless because of those 4 things: amazement, fear, surprise, and interest. All right? Okay.